Welcome back, Baja fam, to another episode of Shifting Perspectives, the Baja Beach Wellness Diaries. I'm Jill Gregro, your host. I'm going to shift it over to Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
And we have Angela back over here in the studio.
Hello.
And guys, we are shining some light on some natural approach to wellness today. Very excited to introduce yet again another special guest. A lot of attention over the years has been the CBD and hemp products, and Baja Beach Wellness has been honored to partner with a CBD and hemp products partner. So today we have Oley Health and Wellness owner, Jeff Brooks. Welcome, Jeff.
Very happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. So Jeff is going to help us today to break down CBD and why it is so powerful, why it is so important, and the Oley Health and Wellness community. So Jeff, welcome once again, and please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Basically, we got involved with the pilot program for CBD and industrial hemp back about 8 years ago when they passed the Farm Bill, and we started growing the industrial hemp for the purpose of possibly using it for commercial housing, for ropes and all other types of industrial products. So we started growing it. Actually did the pilot program in Pennsylvania. We had Senator Schwank at the farm for the inauguration of taking down the hemp that year. And what happened is that I grew it because I figured that there would be a tremendous demand by companies looking to try and develop new products with the hemp. And it didn't come to fruition for that. So then all of a sudden we had like millions of pounds of hemp that we didn't know what to do with. So we started to figure out what we can do to make products ourselves. And the absorption of hemp is so amazing and what it does. So we started making kitty litter, chicken coop litter, and we were amazed with the results. It's no more smell of the cat in the house, no more smell of the chickens in the chicken coops. The chickens love it. They really responded to it very well. Also, the CBD, the chickens love to eat the hemp seeds. There's a lot of protein in it. I think it's going to go mainstream for that also. But what we learned was that the moisture level in Pennsylvania, because we get so much rain, made it very difficult to decorticate the product. So then we purchased a place out in Oregon because the moisture level there was only like 2%. And we bought a facility there. And when we bought that facility, they were growing about 60 acres of CBD. And the farm didn't have enough money to decorticate it and to process it. So we wound up taking out on that project and we processed it through one of the labs in Oregon. But what happened was the price crashed back then because so many people were growing it. So then we got stuck with all this CBD product that we couldn't even sell it because the prices crashed so hard. So we started making our own products. And that's how we started developing all the tinctures and the roll-ons. And now we have a facility in Oley, and we have a facility in Oregon. But that's how we basically came to getting into the hemp business.
Okay. So was this, what was business like before this? Like, what were you doing before this business?
Oh, we were breeding horses.
Okay.
And then before that, I was just investing in company.
Okay. All right, cool. So you've always been a businessman.
It was always around business.
It was always
at Wall Street, yeah.
I love that. So, with the CBD products and like the hemp and all that stuff, for the listeners, just like I'm trying to understand the world of CBD, how would you describe it in relation to wellness?
Well, the whole CBD is your whole endocannabinoid system. They don't teach that in medical school. They don't teach that in any walks of life. But everything in our body, we produce cannabinoid. We produce, and then the CBD is a cannabinoid, and it's a necessity for wellness, for thought process, every aspect of your life, relaxation. There isn't the most important part of it is inflammation. Everybody has tremendous inflammation in their body, and the CBD takes out the inflammation naturally. Opioids suppress inflammation, and that's why you might feel better for a little while when you're taking opioids, but eventually it doesn't help you heal, and then the pain comes right back. With CBD, it eventually helps heal. So the longer you take it, the better you're going to be feeling, and the better it's going to be for to get you to a homeostasis level. Is what we're trying to do, and that's what CBD does. I mean, it's a natural substance that the body needs, whereas these other substances, it's hard to digest it. It's hard to get through your liver and your kidneys. It basically takes out all of that. So that's basically what the CBD is.
And is CBD taken like orally? Is it put on like your body? Like what is that?
We do it. We have tinctures that you take it internally that you put under your tongue, and that's really for relaxation, for mental stability, and mostly for inflammation. And then we have creams that we put on. We have a nitric oxide cream that you rub onto the bottom of your feet in the morning. You put it on your neck, and then you rub it into any areas that you have pain, and the results are probably within 3 to 5 minutes. And you basically will feel the difference. It works that fast.
Wow.
But there is no product. Let me make it very clear. There's no product that works for everybody. Everyone's DNA is different, so everybody needs to try it. And if it works for them, then you don't need anyone to really explain much else. I mean, this works that fast, except for the tinctures. The tinctures are something that takes, weeks, sometimes months to get into your system to really start to feel the differences with your mental clarity, with your inflammation, and with pain also.
And CBD is just like a holistic approach versus the pharmaceuticals.
There's no side effects. No one's ever OD'd on it. No one's ever had any side effects for it. I've never heard of any cases to that effect. Whereas everything else you do, there are side effects to it. But here is absolutely positively no side effects. And the problem that you have is that getting people to even try it.
The negative connotations.
And the reason they have negative connotations is because there have been so many bad products and that are being promoted as CBD, but it's not really the right level of CBD. The layup is wrong. The smell is wrong. It's taken us 5 years of studies of doing this properly to get it to where it is right now.
I want to open up the floor over here. Have you guys taken any CBD products? Like, what are your thoughts on the CBD products?
I'll go first. So I have taken CBD products on and off for a couple of years. I used to work in Vitamin Shop back in 2019, 2020. And that's when CBD found was really becoming popular a little bit in some of those stores. And I remember dabbing a little bit into it. However, I will say this, and it's not just because he's sitting right here, but I never really found them to be very effective. I had the roll-ons, I had the tinctures, but when we started carrying the Oley Health products, I was a little skeptic at first just because I didn't have the best experience with CBD products. The products that we carried, they were pricey. It was a little bit of an investment. So when we carried these, I was like, and then started using them. And at that time, when we first brought them in, I didn't have a ton of aches and pains. However, I will say, a year and a half ago, I started getting neck pain. And my whole central nervous system was really thrown off, and I had bulging discs. And I remember Jeff came in with the salve with the nitric oxide in it, and he's like, put some of this on. And I'm like, all right, here we go, And I put it on, and in 2 minutes, he's like, how do you feel? How do you feel? And we were at Russo's,
Yeah,
weren't we? We were at Russo's. And
It was a working lunch.
It was a working lunch. And I had a dramatic decrease in pain.
Wow.
And if anybody remembers how I was a year and a half ago, I was grumpy, but like not like I was always going like this with my neck, trying to find relief. And that was it for me. Like I was a believer again, because going back to what he said, you don't know what you're buying. It was mass produced. It's not regulated. So everyone's just slapping CBD.
Yeah.
You see the I don't know, the bodega stores or the convenience stores. You don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
So what are you getting? Right. And then he starts telling me to start rubbing it on my feet. I'm like, why am I going to rub this on my feet? So can you talk about that? Because I thought I was looking at you like you had 3 heads when you told me to start rubbing it on my feet. Why do people want to rub this salve on their feet?
It's like if you ever go for reflexology or anything, all your neurons are in your feet and in your neck and in your hand. So by using those points, those are all pressure points that actually relieve you from any inflammation. So by putting the CBD on the bottom of your feet, it actually slows down those neurons, which reduces the pain. And it also helps heal your kidneys, your liver, because every point on the bottom of your feet is a different organ. So that's why I suggest that everybody uses the bottom of their feet to absorb all the natural CBD ointments. And the same thing with tincture. You put it under your tongue in the morning because it gets directly into your bloodstream and you let it sit there as long as you possibly can. And then you start to feel the difference, the relaxation for it. I mean, even with children, with kids that have autism and stuff like that, these tinctures work really well for them. I mean, we've had some really good results because these kids get very, very hyper and very tense and everything, and it's very hard for the parents to take control of it. But with these tinctures, it seems to help them a lot. And also with dogs, we have a dog tincture, that if you give a dog this tincture before you take them to the vet, or if there's going to be fireworks or something, you give them those tinctures, you can't believe the difference. They'll go to the vet, getting on a plane. Anytime you take the dog out, if you gave them the tincture, it really works very well. And the same thing with the neck. A lot of all your tension is in your neck. And there's some certain spots if you go in the back of your neck on both sides, if you rub the CBD oil into those points, it really helps bring blood flow into your brain. And that's what we want to do. We want to increase blood flow to the brain. And if you ever see, like, even with a boxer, right? I mean, once they get dehydrated and you hit them in the head, that's when they start to really have concussions and things like that. So the more blood flow and the more water that we get into the brain, that will help, with forgetfulness, Alzheimer's. I mean, I can't wait till they are able to make studies on all this, because once they make these studies, then opioids are going to be totally washed out. And the results that we're getting from people, we're only getting results from people that are just telling us how these things work. So we're learning every day. So I really would love it if people would give us a lot of feedback of why it's working, why it's not working, because that helps us develop the products even better. So, I mean, if anybody buys the product, and I'd love them to leave responses on the website, good, bad, or indifferent. So that helps me get to a better place with our products. And I remember that day when we were having lunch and you tried it, and you went from like your face was like it was really rough. It was like tough, like you were in pain. And then all of a sudden, the smile started coming. It was like,
and then I fell in love with you.
Yeah,
I think I asked you to marry me that day, didn't I?
that's how delusional this stuff can be.
Well, and it was the
not
first
high,
time.
but high.
No, it was the first time in a long time I didn't have pain.
Yeah.
And it
was unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah, and that type of chronic pain, especially in your neck and your back, that
it was not a totally different person.
Right.
Wow.
And it's not like I'm saying, pain elsewhere in your body isn't a big deal, but especially when you're carrying it in your neck and your back, that can really flip a switch into you, like mentally and emotionally, and change the type of person that you are. But yes, I did ask you to marry me.
Yeah.
Or
No, she got color in her face. All of a sudden, she went from pale to color, and you were sitting there too. And you were shocked too. We all noticed how it was just really. But that's the type of responses you can get. But not everyone's going to get that.
Right.
But the point is if you try it and it does give you that relief, it's the best product. And if it doesn't work for you, then you give it to someone that you love, and see if it works for them. I'm not just going to sit here and say that it works for every single person. That would be insane. I don't think there's ever been a product that works for everybody.
Right.
But we know that it works for like 70% of the people that we put it on. And
well, another thing too that I really enjoy about the salves is that not only has it assisted in my pain internally, but externally. So anytime I've had an eczema flare up or dry skin, mosquito bites, even right now I have kittens. So they got those sharp claws and those teeth. I put some of that CBD salve on, and by the following morning, I'm seeing a lot of healing just overnight. So it's got some great stuff in there too.
It's kind of interesting because the first product that we had was for psoriasis and eczema. And if you look at any of the drugs that people sell for eczema and psoriasis, they always say, well, in about 4 years, it will probably dissipate. But in 4 years, you basically have a bigger problem. So basically, that was really one of our first products was for psoriasis and eczema. And it really does help tremendously, especially with like kids today, for whatever reason, their diet or whatever, they have crazy amounts of psoriasis. I've never seen anything like it. And parents are putting it on and it's really helping them. I mean, that itchiness goes away. The redness goes away. Especially on the elbows. Everybody has it on their elbows. It really works well for that also. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because that was really
and I know I've used it on my children, and it's just reassuring for me, just as an alternative to the products that we get at the pharmacy. You can't read some of the ingredients that are in there, but knowing that I'm putting a more natural product that I know has worked on me and has worked on them, and knowing that it's coming from Oregon, local, from Oley, and it's assuring for me.
And the cool part about that too is that you gave CBD a second chance because you weren't going to. So like the success story there is, I don't know, didn't really see it. We found Jeff, and it's just like, all good things. So second chances, that's the win. Go ahead, Amy.
I think one of the things maybe we should talk about also is maybe the misconceptions of CBD. Like CBD, I've heard a lot of older people be like, oh, no, I can't do anything that's going to make me, high. And it's like, it's not.
Or if I have to take a drug test, it's going to be a problem.
So like what are some of the common misconceptions with CBD versus THC?
Well, THC is a active drug. So CBD has nothing to do. You will not get high. But what I will say is that it's full spectrum. All of our tinctures are full spectrum because that's what really makes these very powerful and they work. And there is less than 3% when we do third party testing too. And the last, it ranges between 0.7 to maybe 1.3% THC in our tinctures, depending upon the lots that we're producing. But you will not get high from that. There is no question about that. You can take tinctures in the morning before you go out to drive your car. Not a problem. Matter of fact, it's great for you because the horn won't bother you as much. The traffic won't bother you as much. It really does relax you. So it's actually a great thing to take before you drive. And with that, I have to say this because it's really important. If you have a CDL license or you have any type of license that tests for THC, you could pop a positive. And I'm not saying it's because of the CBD or what the reason is, but if you are on a CDL license or if it is for your job, I wouldn't take it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because we were at the farm show about 3 years ago, and the CDL guys had a booth there, and a couple of the guys tried the product and they loved it. They were like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" And then they found out that they weren't allowed to recommend it because of the THC level, and that they could pop a positive. But those guys were willing to back it at that point, but they couldn't do it because of that exact reason. And that's why I know for sure if you have a CDL license, you shouldn't take it.
I wonder why that is. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Let's do it.
We were talking about favorite products.
Yes.
So my absolute favorite product is the Good Night gummies. They are amazing. You had given me some, I think when we did some kind of show, you were at a show, we were at a show, we both had tables.
Yeah, I think it was at the
Exeter
gym.
Fit. Yeah,
Exeter
yeah.
Fitness.
So you gave me some of these, and again, let's go back to the perimenopause episode. Don't sleep anymore.
Right.
So you had explained to me, which I thought was very interesting because I'm a sciencey, nerdy kind of person, about, so these are CBD and CBN, correct?
Yes.
And CBN is what mimics melatonin in your body without messing up your natural melatonin?
Right.
Correct.
It's a better form for sleep than regular melatonin.
Because I've read so many studies on how melatonin, if you are chronically taking melatonin, your whole circadian rhythm and sleep cycle can get messed up because you're not producing your own melatonin. I thought that was super interesting that this does what melatonin pretty much does, except you don't have the negative side effects.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I do not go to sleep, except last night because I ran out, without taking 2 of these before I go to bed. They're absolutely amazing. I sleep like a baby. It's, if I get up in the middle of the night to pee or anything, I can easily go back to sleep. So I will always have these. I said I'm going to take a couple home tonight because I don't want to run out again. So, yeah, these, if you cannot sleep, I cannot say enough about these.
Well, we have a night tincture also that you can take that isn't a gummy also, which is really, really works well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that one too.
Right under the tongue tab.
Yeah, you do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's, we recommend to take the tincture in the morning and then the night tincture at night.
Okay. I might have to try that one.
There's this Dr. Mackes, who's a cancer doctor that has been promoting us also. And he's been promoting it for all his cancer patients and all his patients because of the reduction in the inflammation. So they're also doing the night tincture too, because a lot of people have problems sleeping.
So they do the day tincture and then the night tincture.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Good to know. Might have to be getting that.
Yeah. While on the topic of products, we do have your product over here, Jeff. Do you want to go through them, like real briefly, because we do guys have all of the products that Jeff's going to go through here in all 4 of our salons. So if you guys are interested, you can stop by Baja Beach and pick them up. If not, we'll have Jeff, tell you where you can also purchase them. But
you can also get them from our app. If you go on our app and click the website, it goes directly to the Oley Health and Wellness website. So download the app.
Yes, perfect. Go for it.
So this is a roll-on that has the nitric oxide in it. It's the same product as the nitric oxide, but in a roll-on, because people don't really like to get it on their hands. And if you're in the gym, you could just roll it on your knees, on your muscles. So that a lot of people like that more so than putting it on their hands. This is really great for that. The same thing, this actually does the same thing. And then we have this in a 2-ounce, and then we have it in a pump, which is a 4-ounce jar also. So people that just want a certain amount every time, they just hit the pump, and it works really well for that too. But this is the nitric oxide cream that helped you so much, and it's helping.
Help my elbow. I'll tell you that.
It works within 3 to 5 minutes. And what happens is the pain comes back about 2 or 3 hours later. You hit it again, and then after that, you just need it once or twice a day. That's it. But the most important thing is that I really want to bring up is that with CBD, the body needs it just like vitamins or anything else. You need, even when you start to feel better, don't stop taking it. Just keep taking it because the body, it's a natural event that's happening within your body. You need to constantly take it. You don't stop taking it, because you start feeling better. It triggers you back. It's like when you come, when you come to the Baja, right? And you're doing all these different treatments, just because you feel great after that treatment doesn't mean that you don't have to keep coming back and doing it. The key is the consistency. And if you come into if you go into the sauna, the infrared sauna, and you constantly take that all the time, that's going to get rid of a lot of the toxins in your body. So you really need that. That's such a great product that you have here. I love that,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps so much. And once you stop, it's like exercise. You start to stop, and then all of a sudden you start to get tired again and everything. Then you start working out again, and then you get your energy back. The key is the consistency. That's why, your programs of everybody coming back over and over again. That's really the key to the success of getting to a homeostasis environment. And that's what we all want. We want to get to a point where our body are acting without inflammation. And once we get there, then our brain function works, our memory works, getting up in the morning works. Everything starts to work together. So if there's anything you get out of this whole day, is that you have to do it consistently, and that's with everything. That I'm sure about. Okay. And then this cream this was one of the first creams that we got. And this was our psoriasis eczema cream. Like if you get a bee sting or you get any type of cut or bruise, use this and it heals much faster. I mean, it really does, and there's no side effects. You don't need Band-Aids. You don't need anything like that. And then this was our product that we had before the nitric oxide. This product works really great, but the nitric oxide just crushes it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we're still making it because there are people that still like it. But I mean, I would go right to the nitric oxide cream, the new one that we have.
Yeah, I love that one. And I like the consistency of the new nitric oxide with the lotion. It's really nice. But I feel like this one was kind of like I don't know. The consistency is different. With
it was thicker. Like
yeah,
the
it was
older
like
one was
thicker.
thicker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it's really nice. Like lotion, smooths on really nice. So very good. You're just always improving, Jeff. We love it.
Jeff, would you recommend someone who is in chronic pain to use any of those salves in like a infrared sauna treatment or a red light therapy
No
session?
question about it. That's what we're doing here. That's why it's so amazing for me to be involved with you guys, because people coming here to feel better, and they do feel better, right? So by coming here and then getting the therapy and then taking our products home and continuing it, it's just going to make that much better. And it's not one thing that's going to get you to that level. It's the combination of everything that you're doing on a consistent basis. So if you're constantly coming here to get the treatments, the cold plunge or something like that, it's amazing. I mean, it really helps. I mean, people are, they get a little shocked when they go in there, but I mean, when you come out, it lasts. It's, and that's the key. And that's why I'm so excited always to be here, because the combination of everybody that you don't come here to make you feel bad, worse, right? You come in here because you want to make yourself better. So now it gives me that introduction to the type of person that wants to feel better. So it works great for us.
I will tell you, some of our members do have the roll-on, and they put the roll-on on their temples when they have like migraines or right before they go into the SST or the cocoon, and it really just helps them just like relax right before they go in. So
anytime you have a headache, you roll that on, it's gone.
Gone.
Yep.
It's the perfect thing. Right over the forehead, right on the temples. Perfect. I love it. How did this partnership come about?
How did this come about, Jeff? Let's think back.
No, it went back to Bridget.
Let's go back down the road.
Love it.
Yeah.
We gotta get
it was
No, Bridget gave me the shot.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it
love
was
that.
quite a number of years ago, though.
No, it's a really
Yeah.
long time ago.
We're in a long
That's
term.
awesome.
We're in a long term relationship.
Yeah.
Now.
That's good.
Yeah.
And we just keep getting better and keep growing.
Well, I think the most important thing, like, I have friends and family members who are in chronic pain, and when you have chronic pain, even if you have acute pain, like, that's the only thing you're worried about is feeling better.
Mhm.
And, you know, anything you can do to try to feel better, whether it be, you know, let's get them in the nitric oxide lotion, let's get them in the red light therapy. It's, you just have to keep trying. And I know a lot of times they feel very defeated when they try things, but if you keep up that consistency and you just try whatever you can, you're going to find something eventually.
It's no good.
Right.
Yeah. Jeff, how do you like ensure the quality and safety of the products?
Well, everything we do is third party tested.
Okay.
And then we have a certified lab in Oregon. Then we make all the products ourselves. We grow everything. Everything is internal.
Okay.
We're totally vertical.
Okay.
So we make everything. We don't buy anything from anybody. We don't private label. We've actually private labeled other companies, but we don't private label anything. We don't. Everything we have, we make.
Okay. So do you take your private jet out to Oregon?
No, I don't have a jet.
Not yet.
Amy and I want to go to Oregon. We saw pictures, and it's
Really?
yeah, it looks really neat. The
Wow.
farm is beautiful.
No, the farm out there. I mean,
Talk about the farm.
oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, you walk outside and you see all the mountains. It's really amazing. And then we're only about 15 miles from a lake. It's about a 7-8 mile lake that all summer long they have all kinds of events down there. It's absolutely beautiful. And for growing hemp, that is going to be the #1 place in the United States to grow hemp because of the moisture levels there and the amount of rain that we get. This, I mean, it's really a beautiful thing. I should put some pictures of it up on the website, but I think there's some pictures of the lab on the website. I'm not sure, but I'll make sure that there are. We really need to do something like that. But the farm in Oley is also very, very beautiful.
I love that. We need a Baja field
Field trip.
We're going to do a field trip.
We've
Yeah.
been talking about it.
I
Yeah.
Jeff, what other businesses or like industries do you partner with? Like obviously I know we're a wellness salon, but what other like businesses do you partner with to put your
right
products
now,
out there?
The biggest thing that we're trying to do is doctors.
Okay.
It's very difficult to break into that world, but more and more doctors are understanding it and they are prescribing it. The problem is that there's no insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So the doctors really don't ever, prescribe the CBD to their patients, but the ones that really care
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that really understand that, a lot of these people, a lot of their patients are getting sicker and sicker and sicker taking all these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
They are giving recommendations. There's a guy, Nelson Nickerson. He's a pediatric doctor in New York for children.
Mm-hmm.
He recommends our creams for psoriasis, eczema. There are quite a few doctors that actually recommend them. Then Dr. Makis, Dr. Tarosi. It's gaining a lot of momentum. I was just in Florida 2 weeks ago for an event with all those doctors talking about how to cure cancer and everything by using CBD and other ailments besides going for chemo.
Wow.
So we presented there, and then that was very successful for us.
That's great. That's awesome. So you are like you're bouncing state to state, like you're nationwide. You're shipping nationwide.
Yeah, it's legal everywhere. It's
Okay.
funny because it's totally legal in Canada. It's totally legal in the United States, but we're not allowed to ship CBD products into Canada. And Canada cannot ship CBD products into the U.S. I mean, my business would probably double because there's a lot of Canadian doctors that have been recommending us, and we can't ship there. So but that's politics.
That's politics.
Yeah. We open up a plant over there.
I've been looking into it, but I haven't been able to.
2026 plans?
Yeah, no, nothing yet, because dealing in Canada is not the easiest. It's another environment in itself.
Yeah. What is your routine, Jeff, with CBD? Like, what do you do every day?
I take the tinctures every day, in the morning and night, and I put the I put the NO on my feet every day, and I rub it into my head, my neck, and I put it on my head.
Mm.
And I was totally bald. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm growing a lot of hair back, but it has made a difference in the last few months.
It's coming back.
It is coming
I
back.
see it.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
We gotta zoom in on that.
No, I tell people to start doing it because I mean it's not something that's happening too fast, but I do put it on right now. It's all over me.
I wonder, you know how hair oiling, scalp oiling is a big thing right now. I wonder if you guys could develop like some kind of like scalp oil.
Yeah.
Just
like,
put the nitric
with the
oxide on.
Or like the CBD.
Just do it.
oil.
Try
Okay,
it.
yeah.
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
I'm gonna try that.
Like a hair, skin, and nails, like
Right.
nitric oxide.
I do it. I put it on.
He does it.
I do it.
He's
Yeah.
the walking billboard
You-
for
If
hair
you-
growth.
I mean, I don't know if you can see a film on my face, but I mean, I definitely have. I put it underneath my eyes. I put it on my chin. I put it on my neck every morning, and then at night too.
The roll on?
No,
Or
the nitric oxide.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Nitric oxide is that's like the big talking point right now with health and circulation and heart health.
and we figured a way to actually put it into creams. I don't know anyone else is doing it,
Yeah, that's amazing.
but we developed the process to do that.
Talk about the benefits of nitric oxide.
It gets deeper into your skin. It
Okay.
gets very deep into the skin, and it opens up those capillaries, so it brings a lot of oxygen and blood flow into much deeper than normal.
Okay.
It would. The
Wow.
nitric oxide is another natural event that the body needs. So the nitric oxide is going to take off.
It's like the real deal.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
So nitric oxide plus CBD is like
It's-
you're a powerhouse right now.
Right now, this is a kicker.
Dang. So we gotta this is it. This is the promotion right here. Y'all heard it live right here. Jeff, somebody starting out with your products, where would you recommend them to start? Was it like a dosage thing? Does it matter? How do you feel? What do you recommend?
Well, with the tinctures, everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a 90 pound or 100 pound elderly lady, you don't need as much.
Mm-hmm.
If you're fighting a lot of inflammation, then you need more. But everybody's going to be able to adjust it the way they feel. So if you're taking too much of it, then you're getting a little bit where you're feeling that you don't have as much energy or something, then you back off it a little bit. So I would start with small doses and then build yourself up. And then decide if you want to take it in the morning and at night or just in the morning. So everybody's going to be different and you adjust it. So there's no question that the tinctures are a necessity for everybody to take. It really is that good a product. As far as the nitric oxide creams, if you have pain, then you want to put it on the bottom of your feet and on your neck and then wherever else you're having the pain. If you don't have pain, then there's no purpose for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then I would just stick with the tincture.
Okay.
But if you have both, then I would hit both of them and just go with it and see how you feel in a couple of weeks, and you'll notice the difference. But don't forget to do the saunas that's really important because that's what gets rid of a lot of toxins in your body. I recommend that really highly. It's definitely those infrared saunas. I think are really a must for everybody to do.
Because we're toxic overload with the environment now.
It's so important. It really is.
I mean, it's in your water, it's in your clothing,
Everywhere.
It's in your food. There's PFAS everywhere.
It's incredible how much better you feel.
Yeah.
So these are things that you need to consistently do. These aren't things that you do, a couple of dead times and then expect, well, this, you gotta be consistent.
Guys have questions for Jeff?
I do.
Go for it, Ange.
Is there anything new coming down the pike?
There's always something new, and hopefully we're going to get a lot of comments of how everything's working so that we can make a lot of changes. But the whole purpose of everything we do is change. And I don't think that the products I think every 6 months we've changed something in the products. We're constantly doing something with the products, and we're only going to learn more and more. I mean, that's the key. It's like we started with just this one cream, and now all of a sudden now we have nitric oxide. Um, we're doing a tincture now without the orange flavor. It's we're constantly changing it because there are certain people constantly hearing new things of how what people like, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and then when we find out that certain things aren't working as well, we cut it back and then we start to change it. So that's the advantage that we have is that we really are on it that way. So there will always be new products, and the products that we have will change too. We are definitely gonna make them new and improved. There's no question about that. That's what I live for anyway. That's what gets me excited is making it better and better.
All right. What's your most popular product? What would you say?
The tincture. Yeah.
The day or night?
The day.
Okay.
The night tincture, the day tincture everybody takes, and there's no question. Night tinctures, there are people that it just doesn't work as well. Like the gummies work much better. It's like a really weird thing because it's basically similar is the gummies and the night tincture, but so like you love the gummies, and then other people they don't work for them, and then they take the night tincture, and the night tincture works for them. That's why I can't stress enough that you just have to try all these things, and then what works for you, you stay with, and what doesn't work for you, you just don't do it. And that's the key to trying all these things.
Right.
Is there any like direction in the CBD industry that you would like it to go that maybe it's not going right now, but you have like future thoughts, like future plans for it?
Well, the only thing that really needs to change is changing the THC to a level 3 drug.
Okay.
They keep the THC as a level 1 drug because we can't test. So how people are doing blind studies with all these different products, but we can't do any studies on the product. So once they change that to a level 3, then we can start doing these studies, and then it will be the end because then everybody's going to start to see that through the studies that how much better these works than opioids. So that will be the big thing is that the president and JFK can change that to a level 3 so we can start to do clinical trials. That's where I would love to see everything going.
Is that where you see like the biggest obstacle come in? Like do people like compare, like when you go to pitch this stuff, do they like come in with the THC? Is that like what's the biggest obstacle that you get with pitching CBD?
No one knows what it's just it's getting more and more because more and more people are getting better from it. Mm-hmm. So it's really more of a word of mouth. It's not like we have studies that people are going to start to go look at.
Yeah, there's no science.
If you go on the websites and you start to go to ChatGPT or something and you push in what this does for you, what that does for you, it'll give you the right answers, and it does help.
Yeah.
But you still have that mentality for the last 30 years that CBD gets you high.
Yeah, it's drug.
And it's a drug, and that it's not going to help you, and it's going to do something. But if you think about it, the biggest druggies in the world are in their 80s right now, and they move a lot faster than any of these young kids on stage. I can tell you that. Right? Mick Jagger still moves a lot faster than anybody I know.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's something to all this,
Exactly.
And then I will say this with THC, right? Mm-hmm. Alcohol dissipates out of your system within 2 days, right? It gets out of your bloodstream, right? If you smoke, it'll stay in your system for months. And why is that? Because the body accepts it. The body needs it. And that's why I know this is not a joke.
Right.
There's no question that the CBD stays in your system and we need it and we produce it, but we don't produce enough of it, and it's going to help reduce inflammation and it's going to help us feel better. And once we get to that end, that one point where we have full access to our muscles and our movement and our thought process, that's when we're going to start to feel better. we're not going to feel better being in pain. It's like the day we met, right? And she wasn't going to take anything. She was like, you were there. You saw her. I mean, it was like, oh, I'm not doing it. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. And then all of a sudden I forced it on her basically. And she did it. And she was like, all of a sudden within 2 minutes, her face changed completely. And that's when she asked me to marry.
She was very adamant about that.
I love it.
Yeah. Where do you see the industry becoming a little bit, like the rules of the industry becoming a little more relaxed as time goes on, as far as, different...
That will happen once we can start doing the testing.
Okay.
But it's also going to happen by what we're doing right now.
Right.
Because if all your patients come here and they start to buy my products and it starts to get them better, then the word's going to spread. It's all about the word. I mean, people believe other people, and if we can get that word out that this stuff really does help and that we are getting out of pain, that's where that's the most important thing. Because we don't have the studies to be able to prove it that way. So the only way we can do it is like we're doing right now is word of mouth.
Yeah. It all starts here.
It all started right now.
It all started right here in the Baja Beach Wellness Podcast.
That's it.
I love it.
It's just when Bridget gave me a shot, when I came to her, she understood it. It was like, it was really amazing how she was so far ahead of everybody. And then she gave me that shot, that was one of my first good shots. So that's why I love this place so much.
Oh, we love
you. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Do you guys have any final thoughts for Jeff?
Keep doing what you're doing. No, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah,
keep crushing it. I love it. I love the sleep gummies. I love the nitric oxide on my elbow. Like, I can finally do my Pilates push-up. Like, you got me back to the game, Jeff, so I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate everything. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Jeff, any final, you gave us so many nuggets, but final, advice for listeners, and you also touched on where we can find you, but if you can also let listeners know where we can find you once again and also buy your products.
You buy them right here at Baja Beach, and the most important thing that I could leave you with is that consistency. You gotta just, you gotta come here all the time. You gotta take my products all the time. It's not, you cannot take this once and expect it to do much. It's just gotta keep coming. The infrareds, you gotta keep doing it. I mean, you gotta get those toxins out of your body, and that's a great way to do it. The CBD, you gotta keep the body in that oil to be able to get that inflammation out of your system and the blood flowing. It's going to help you function better. It's going to help you think better, sleep better. And the most important thing with the health is, number one, sleep.
Yes.
So if you're not sleeping, then there's no way you're ever going to feel better. Because the only time the body heals is when you're sleeping, right? And the second most important thing is water. So you really have to take water and get off those plastic bottles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah, forget that.
Get yourself an emotional support.
There we go.
And even copper. You use copper in your house to store the water and drink out of copper. It helps a great deal. And that's my final thoughts.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And you guys, thank you again for tuning in on YouTube and Spotify. Jeff, you were amazing. And you guys definitely can buy the products, Jeff, Adams, your wellness journey, the Oley hemp and CBD products for sleep, for pain, for eczema, all things. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely go to the website, but thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week on Shifting Perspectives, the Baja Beach Wellness Podcast. Woo!